if you're not working with another local tavern, you don't belong in this industry. It's simple as that.
Yeah. And we're not cutthroat. We're not, you're there, you're not my, we're all.
Well, you know how it goes. Like everybody, they go to so many different bars. And it's kind of like bar owners. Hey, I like all these bars. I want to help my friends out that are fellow bar owners.
Right.
Are there any bars in town that just said like, screw you, I don't want to be part of the Tavern League. I don't want anything to do with that?
Let's call somebody out.
There are. I'm not going to mention any names.
There have been some that it's been difficult to get them to
Sarah, you'll tell us.
No, I won't.
What's their logic behind it though?
So again, it's that thing that we're not going to play sides. Like, I don't care if this bar owner doesn't like this other bar owner. That if you want to play in play school, go do it. Mm-hmm. That's not what we're about. Mm-hmm. So there's been petty things like that, but there's also been people who just don't know what the Tavern League's about. They're like, why would I join? And I can't go to a meeting on Tuesday afternoon. I think that's a big thing. Or am I obligated to constantly go to meetings? We want people at the meetings.
Yeah.
The meetings are interesting and fun, and you learn things there.
And you get to know your neighbors.
And you get to know your neighbors and your people and who are going to back you.
Where do you usually have your meetings? Where they
It's at a different place every month.
So it shifts around different bars in town?
Yeah, and we're working on not doing it on the same day and same afternoon every month.
Okay.
But we have guest speakers and we have different things to talk about. And I feel like the reputation isn't there. It's not a bunch of good old boys like sitting around in a circle screaming about being kings of the world. That's not what it is. It's people who are all like different backgrounds and working for the same thing. Like we're working for our community and for our industry. And I think that's what people need to know.
So well said. So well said.
And we try to have a structure of the meeting. I mean, we try to have a city official at every meeting plus a vendor.
And it is structure. He does a great job. I mean, it is structured.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And everybody, how can people learn more about going to those meetings? If they just go to the website, tlw.org, and they can find out when these meetings are taking place, or like you guys on Facebook, right?
Facebook's
like us on Facebook. The more local information.
Okay.
So I mean, going back to these meetings, we have a city that we've had aldermen, David Bigdala, Anthony Kennedy's coming over. We've had the mayor a couple times. We even had Guy Santelli, the fire chief. He came out, and I heard him on the radio. And I called him up and said, "You want to come to our meeting?" He goes, "Absolutely." And he walked through and said, "Hey, this is what we look for when we do our fire inspections."
So everybody's aware of it.
Yeah.
See, very important.
My goal is when you go to the meeting, I want you to learn something about your business. I like that. And we also have vendors. Vendors are, I call them and do you want to come to one of our meetings? He goes, "Art, why wouldn't I want to come and be in front of 20 or 30 bar owners talking about my new product line?" Right, showing you how to pour a drink the right way and mix it.
Just kind of learning,
Correct.
Everybody's learning something from it. And it's just not open up to bar owners. The general public can come as well and learn a few things about the local bar owners,
that's where we draw the line. No, you have to be a member because there are financial.
Oh, okay. So you have to, okay.
Yeah.
So I just can't show up and be like, hey,
I'm pretty sure you guys were asked to be a guest.
Yeah, well, I got a little nervous when you asked me that.
Oh, stop yourself.
That's ridiculous.
But I mean, going back, 15 years ago, it used to be a big part of these meetings. And, when I first went there, I mean, everyone was wasted and drunk and they're all slobbering and yelling at each other. I'm like, what is this?
Not getting anything done.
Right. Now it's, it says new and improved Tavern League. Hey, we're here for the people. Let's get everything out there. Let's make everybody make some money and do the right thing.
And I'm all about feedback, being in marketing and sales. I go to these owners and say, what do you want to see at a meeting?
Right.
And it just the list that they come out with is it's unbelievable because it's stuff we didn't even think about.
Yeah.
It's like let's try that. Let's see what happens. And I mean, this isn't the 1970s or 80s or 90s or even the 2010s.
Because you know what? Everybody's got to do the right thing. Everybody's got to come to these meetings, learn things. I love it. So let me know this. Who you got any guest speakers coming up? Who's the bigwigs coming up?
So we have, at the next meeting, we have Bart Woods from Badger Liquors.
Oh, okay.
And we also have a man named Chris, and I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce his last name, but he is he owns a marketing company.
Oh, very nice.
That is for small to medium-sized businesses, and he's great. I know Johnny's has utilized him several times. So he will also be a guest speaker at the next meeting. I know the following one, we have Ziggy.
Stardust?
Ken Zigner.
Ken Zigner.
From Works Beverage, now Breakthrough Beverage.
Oh, okay. So you guys got
softball legend in Kenosha. Kenny, I know you're listening to us.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. You got
meeting.
You got some great people lined up.
And we also want to mix in the city officials.
Right.
You know, they're usually month to month. They don't, plan out because of their schedules or not. But we want to hear what's going on. You know, there's a big council meeting tonight talking about the mask mandate. And find out what their local issues are, because they actually do want to hear feedback from local businesses and see what our thoughts are. We may not all agree, but that's what our thoughts are, and maybe they need a better understanding of why we think.
Right, and that's the way it is. Everybody's throwing their ideas out there. Everybody listens to everything, and what's the greater good for the business and for the people? That's what it's all about.
It's all information for them individually. They can do what they want with it. We're not pushing any agenda.
You're giving the information.
Correct.
New and improved Tavern League. You're
Yes.
giving the information out to everybody, and they can take as they want with it.
Correct.
I like that.